What? There it goes. Okay, so downloaded that one. Let's go back. Download this one. The other thing though is like if you're using these like GIFs off of the web or whatever, um, it's gonna do what it's doing. So like if I wanted it like specifically for your portal, if I wanted the energy going out, I have to reverse the video somehow. So then it becomes a little bit more complicated. But I can show that if you'd like. It's easy. Just throw it into After Effects and just reverse the video. Might even be able to do it in Media Encoder. Let's see. So there's that, and then this might look kind of cool too. 10xe. So I'm gonna save that one. Save image. Energy out. Okay, let's use that. And then I'm just gonna do a basic shape. Come on, turn red. That. And this is just basic stuff. I'm just trying to get your portal shape. Oops. Okay. Do that. All right. Now it should be ready for application in a moment. You have to have UVs on it. So I'll go ahead and do that. Just throw it in the middle. Basically, whatever ratio your thing is, it's going to show it up in here. So like if it's a big rectangle, it'll probably cut through the middle of this, your mapped face. So then you'll have to readjust a little bit to get it to fit. Okay, so that's that. Cool. All right. New, we'll call it Portal VFX. That's fine. And now I need to get the media encoder. Hopefully I have it. I have it happening for this. Um, I might. Yeah, I'm gonna try in here first. If I need to reverse it, then I'll do that next step of reversing and then After Effects. If I can't do it in here. With this little. So find our GIFs, drop them in here, loads them in. I already have it set up as the MP4, but basically in here, you just click format. It'll click that name, pops open the thing, and then you just find it right here. It's called H.264, whatever. That's the encoder. Um, I haven't tried MPEG4. I just go with this one because I know it has the MP4. So this is where you would reverse it if you can. See if we can. Looks like you can change the duration, like how long the video is. What else we got? None of that matters. You don't need that. Okay, I'm not sure that I can flip it in here. That's fine. So say okay. Custom. Can we change it to custom? We'll just leave those alone. All right, and then you hit play. It basically runs through and converts it to MP4s. Now we're done with that. Goodbye. Now we have MP4s. Maybe nuke these. Don't need those, and they should play. I don't have VLC.
I still don't have VLC.
It's just a video player. It plays more files than like media, Windows Media Player.
That's kind of what I need,
Yeah.
because, yeah, Media Player does not like several formats that I export. I thought at some point VLC was on like every computer.
Mm,
I could be wrong, and maybe it was just on school computers.
that's possible. Yeah. Um,
But I thought some video
let's see if
player.
virus in real time.
Why so nervous to go to a website like that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't click anything that else, right?
Yeah.
It says like start here. No. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Yeah. Sweet. So this may not be really necessary for the portal thing. It's just so I can play MP4s.
Yeah, there was one time I got Spotify for my birthday, and our brother was helping me install it, but he went to the wrong website. He went to the first result in Google search, and it was an
I
advertisement
was
for
say
a
those.
scam Spotify website. So we installed it. We installed Spotify from that website, and
Almost
got
clicked
like
it.
3 different kinds of malware on it,
Oh, fun.
and it would scan my computer every once in a while.
All right. So okay, so yeah, it now animates the cast videos. So which is good. That's what we want. And that sucks. That's happened in the past.
Blame for it.
Of course it did. Oh man. Um okay, so yeah, all this is gonna be done in the shading tab. Basically the node place. Shading tab is just so you can see it. Let me get this in a better view. You will need oh crap, not that. Give me. Come on, split it. Okay. You'll need the the player, the timeline player, this thing. So in that, and then timeline. Basically because it's basically an animation, so you have to press play to be able to see what's happening. Um, go like that. Yes. Okay. It's hard to do on that laptop. I'll just start with this pull in one first, and then we'll kind of build more. Actually, let me do this.
Oh, there we go. That's what it is.
I'm gonna rearrange my windows a little bit more. Okay. So y'all can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I have the MP4 in here, which is it's a movie file, but think of it like a texture. It doesn't there's not much different except for a couple settings you have to do. But first we can plug in color. You can kind of see it on there. So it acts like a texture. Um, like I said a little bit ago, in the UV editor, you have to set up the UVs. So this is where you can kind of like, make it do whatever you want. Um, so like if you want 1,000 of them repeated, scale it up or not do that. And get it kind of where you want it. You could even like only use a part of the video. So like if I only wanted the center part, I could scale it really far down and that's the part it'll see. Um, for now, I'll keep it kind of up larger. Um, okay, and that's basically that. Then we go back into the shader. Um, so to first step, make it move, make it show up and move. Right now, play, nothing's going to happen because you haven't told it to be a video source. If I go back to 0 in this one, which is the MP4 that you brought in, the best way to do is just drag and drop it in versus like searching, because I don't know if you have to use a certain node or not. But on this, you need to have cyclic and auto refresh on. You have to check both of these two. And when you do that, it should start moving at play. So if you notice, it's going to stop and then go again. Basically, what that means is that it's reaching the end of that video, and then there's a frame or two before it restarts. You can kind of um, work around that ish, and it's by giving it, I think, more frames or less frames. Like if I say 150, we'll see if it skips. So yeah, that didn't really work. Let's try 90. See, it still hiccups. And I'm wondering. So now you see it hitching even more. That's because it's only using 45 frames of that video. Um, a way around that is to know exactly how many frames are in that video, because if it loops, I think the original one looped. Um, like this one has no hitching. Yeah. It's super smooth, right? So the way is you can download that or have that GIF open in Photoshop and count how many frames are in it, and it should tell you. Yeah, Photoshop can open GIFs. You can actually that's actually where you create them, or you can create them. Yeah. Um, basically, a GIF, all it is it's however many frames it is as layers, and then they just turn them on and off. Like if I drag this one in here, you can see them over here on the right. So this has 91 frames of animation. So I should be able to type in 91 right here, and it should loop, but we'll see if it does or not, because it just might not. Let's see. It still does hitches, which is kind of weird.
It's a bit better though.
Yeah, but I expected it to loop properly. This is just not it's not perfect, but let's see if I can fix that. Do image sequence, but let's Yeah. So maybe you can make it blue, maybe you can't. I'll just say we can't. Um, okay. So the next thing that you had wanted was glow and uh, alpha, right? So glow, you can use the same texture as your glow source. So just pipe it into emission. So now it's glowing.
Is that easy? That's annoying.
Yeah, yeah, usually. But I mean, then you have to turn on like if you cycles may be different, so we'll have to try that as well. But okay, yeah. So you turn bloom on. That'll also give you. Let me go into.
I'm struggling with that so much.
It's
Hmm.
fun, right?
Very good.
Let's see. So I'm gonna change my HDRI to like a dark one. Probably turn it off. Um. So bloom. So let's see. Intensity. I'm gonna kick that up to like 1. So now it'll look like it's glowing even more so. If I put this up to 50, it'll be really hot. And like as it turns away, you can kind of get weird glints and whatnot. I don't know what that red thing is. Oh, that's the dude. But we'll pull that back down. And radius is like how much does it spread? So you can have it like super hot, like uh glowing like crazy, but pull it in closer to the source. If you go too high, it's gonna look weird. So 510 or so. And that. And I can it'll do its thing. Um, the other part to which you had asked was like make it translucent or transparent. Right now it's still not. So to fix that, that's another thing. You can you can edit this stuff while it's animated, but be wary it may crash. So yeah, yeah. Actually, I'll do the same. Save as demo console. Control save. Okay. So now alpha. Is this actually going to turn this one off? So once again, you just pipe it into alpha. It's not going to show up right away because you have to tell it that you're using an alpha. And that's by going to the shader, the material tab down here, scrolling down to where it says settings. Yours may be like this. You just open, like it may be closed. Go to settings, and you're going to mess with blend mode and shadow. Um, blend mode, that's where you're going to change it from opaque to any one of these three. They each do a different thing. Um, they all mostly work. Alpha clip is like on or off. There's no grays in between, so there's no shading. Like if I click that, some of these may disappear, like this and this. So it hits a threshold and it says show up or don't show up. Um, you can kind of fiddle with that by adding over here, adding in a color ramp. No, not that. Color ramp. And putting it in between here. And basically what that's going to do is going to adjust the levels. So it's going to tell it to either be darker or lighter in that gradient range. You can also change the color here, which we're going to do for the base color in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to copy that and just paste it up here for now. So as I slide this around, things will disappear because it's like clipping it out. If I drag this one down, things will start showing up. So it's like changing where it picks it up. So that's the white side on that. So like if I play now, you can kind of see over here it's showing up. Let me turn this down. And
Mine becomes blurry when it moves.
that'll be dependent on which video you're using.
Oh, it's
let me pause this. Okay. So you have it. So say you don't want the on or off, right? You want something smoother. There's two other options down here. So hashed tries to do like a blend between, or I'll go to actually blend first. So blend will be like the super smooth one, or it should be, right? Let's crank this back up, and then have the environment show around again. So this one's the smooth one. So you can see there's actually like lighter bits and some more solid ones. The other option is called hashed, and that does like a mix between the two, or mixes the ideas of the two. So it's still one or on or off, but it like puts little dots, like it's filtering it through pixels. Let's see if that works pretty well. Yeah. So you can see that it's on or off, but there is quote unquote gradients. It's just you have dots. It's like dissolve in Photoshop. You can still kind of tweak it here. So maybe like if it's slowing down, that's the other factor. It's like this one takes a lot of like blend takes a lot of processing power. Hash takes a little less. Clip takes way less. So food for thought. Shadow mode. If it's transparent or translucent, you probably don't want shadows, like because why? You know, it's see through. So you can turn that off. It'll also save you some memory, like processing power.
You decided to none?
To none. Yeah. Show backface and backface culling. You'll have to tweak with that. Depending on your shape. Like if this was on a sphere, smooth the portal. So if we have it on a sphere, let's see if I can find a good view. Okay, so this should work. And if I turn off backface, it basically says I only want to see the front side. I don't want to see anything past it that's on that same object. Backface culling, I believe, does the opposite. And let's see, turn it off. Anyway, you just play with the two. Sometimes one works on the other. Sometimes a combo of the two work, depending on what you're wanting to go for. Just leave that on. We don't need this. Delete. Portal. Let me add a ground. And not make it blinding. I thought I had a basic. All right. Okay. Coloring it. So if you have like, I love this movement, but I want it to be blue or something, you can add a color ramp in and change the white to blue or whatever color you're wanting. It also has to pipe into emission because you're trying to change both. So now it's blue. In here, you can tweak, like say you want the darks to go towards green or whatever. Should come on. Blue. Let's brighten this up so we can see it. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. So you can use it to kind of add different colors to the value range that's in whatever it is. That works with regular textures, and this. So that's like a universal thing, color ramp. You can even do this in Photoshop. So, actually, I'll show you that. So like in Photoshop, if we wanted to change it here, gradient map is what they call it here. And then you can find one or make one. So like that. So that's all it's doing. It's remapping the colors based on value. So let's go with like turquoise or something. Yeah. So that's the basics of that. That's kind of how to get the portal-y thing in there. The next thing would be to like mix um two different videos. So, so that is easy. Right now. You go in here and you find your next video. I'm gonna do the fractal because it's kind of cool. And we just do a mix shader or mix color, I guess it's called. Mix shaders a different thing. Put this into A, put that into B. So you're mixing your new one, which is A, your old one, which is B. It can be switched. It's basically whatever one. A is like priority, B is like secondary. And we'll just pipe that in here instead. And it should, yeah, there was, it kind of shows up. See right there. With a factor, you can say which one shows up more. So you can say, be brighter or not. And then you can change the mix type. Right now, I'll just use mix though, or regular mix. Let's set the room. And then we have to remember if we want it to animate, if we want both of them to animate, we have to tell it to. Same kind of thing. Right now it's playing, but the new one's not moving. So we have to say, hey, move. And then that's the other thing. It's like we have to figure out the frames again and how many it has. I should not have deleted them, so go back and find it. Save. This one has 24 frames. We'll see if that helps or not. All right, that's repeating better. So right now it's like super small in there. You can have them at different scales. So this one we could say use UVs. All right. Well, I'm just gonna add the mapping stuff. Yeah, and then change the scale here, I guess. But it goes off to nowhere. There's gotta be a better way. Let's see. This is gonna start getting complicated. Because I mean you can change the scale here, and you can notice if you notice it's like getting smaller and bigger, but it's like pulling it off somewhere over here as the central point. So then you'll have to like move it, try to find it again. There's another way to do it. You can try it this way. Let me undo that. It's back to the beginning. I'm gonna add a empty, and we'll try to scale it using that instead. So instead of going UV, you go object. I'm going flying off the hip right now, so this might not work. Pick that empty. Let it. Give me my empty. Let's see if it's going to show up or not. used to be this. Maybe box. Okay, you have to change it to box to be able to see it. So it's still doing some weird stuff. This is the experiment part. There it is. Reduce selectivity. All right. Let's use the same palette. So I don't know. Say you like this or whatever. You can do the same thing with the colors. Kind of tweak them. You get something like.
I foolishly thought applying a video to an object meant I would be able to hear the audio coming off it
No,
just by default.
no.
No,
I'm
I
not.
should
Yeah,
be sad, but I'm sad.
it may import it somewhere. I haven't done enough with it to know how to activate it.
Yeah, it could be somewhere.
Yeah, because I think in compositing you can find it, or animation,
Yeah.
one of those two. So you can do it this way, where you're mixing them here, or you can, and this just may cause more problems later. Um, you can add a new shape in front, and you just make a new material for that. So like, say we want to separate them out. Make a new material. It's now material 2, and just get rid of all the other stuff. I say get rid of all the other stuff. Delete. Of course, hold on. Recall that stuff back up. And then on this one, you would delete all this junk you don't need. This is a whole multiple ways to skin a cat from anything, or whatever whatever analogy you want to use. That way you don't have to do all this junk, and you can just use UVs. So many different ways to do the same thing to achieve different results. Because now I can break beyond that shape if I wanted to have a to not just be contained to that basic portal. Because maybe you want your portal to actually affect the world around it. So that's how you do that. There's one more texture. This one. Let's do that then. So this, make a new one. I want to make a third portal effect. Pause the And maybe we want this one to move. Why did you know moving? If it can only do it, yeah. Frames, it's only got one. Actually, I wonder if I can just drop it in before me. Oh, you can. But that doesn't do you good. Alright, let's find that. $45. Mm, that one's working. Machine. I just want a little bit of it showing up. Change the color. Let's go yellow. And then balloon it out. Me too. Um, yeah, the other cool thing is you can actually animate the meshes too. So like say you wanted that yellow one to kind of rotate or whatever. Um, you can turn on the keys, the auto keys, and then go to like the end and rotate it or whatever. We'll go 520? No, we'll go 540. Um, then we press play. That'll rotate too. Uh, the other cool thing is maybe we want it one to go one way and one go to the other way. So it's like one goes left, one goes right. If I have the right. Nope, grab the wrong one. Give me volume. There it is. Um, so say I wanted two of these, but I want them to one to go to the left, one go to the right. So you can just change the keys to be backwards. And it should one that goes to the right, one that goes to the left. So you can start stacking things, you know. So it starts looking kind of neat. Let's see, turn this off. Let's see if this is I want this. Menu shader. Um, not to be blue, but I want it to go to that yellow maybe. Just kind of tie everything together. That kind of thing. Anyway, basically you can stack a bunch of stuff to make some cool stuff. Trying to just do that. Like how the Mm. Mm.
Wow.
There it is.
Really? Ah, my forearm keeps cramping.